Is he being given a chance?
So
understand your brother. Understand your wife. Understand your sister. She's a sinner. She was captured by the circumstances. But your prayers will change the situation. Or someone say amen somewhere. Praise. We were friends. We never chose to be sinners. We want to be saints. That's why Jesus came to help us out. And we will make it by His grace. One thing you need this morning is the grace of God.
May God found this morning.
It's not of him that ran it. It's not him that will it. But it's God that showed mercy. Amen. It was mercy on Rahab. It was mercy on that woman who washed Jesus with her tears. She did nothing. She was still a street walker. But grace took over. May grace take over this morning. May grace take you over this morning. It was grace on the thief on the right. He had no time to go to church. He had no time to choose a pastor. He had no time to listen to a tape. Just a few seconds to doom hour. Just a few seconds to doom hour. Something happened last minute. Your salvation can happen last minute. Your blessing may come last minute. The last few hours of his life, when he was really desperate, he heard a voice. Tonight, we'll be together in paradise. Would you like to hear that? Brother, don't be discouraged. Anything can happen during your last minutes of the year. During the last hours of this year, things can happen that can change your entire life. That can heal all your failures from January to December. If you believe, God can do something for you. Last minute. That tumor was stubborn. That tumor on Sister Meda. It didn't want to go. Just like some of the stubborn spirits in our lives. It had come to stay. But the last hours, the last minutes, after the doctor had dressed up, after the knives were ready, when the doctor was about to touch our sister, the tumor was gone. May it happen to you this morning. Don't fail to rejoice because what's going to happen tomorrow. A lot of things can happen today to change what's going to happen tomorrow. You might have messed up at work and they are afraid to go back tomorrow. Just trust him. On your way to work, things might happen that will change the heart of the manager. Believe it thou this morning. So a referee is a type of an absolute. You don't argue with an absolute. I say yes, Lord. Taurai.
Speak.
Your servant is listening. Not my will, but yours.
If it was me, I would say, may it
but
go
not
this
my
way.
will, but thine. Remember, your God, whom we have come to worship this morning, He is a God of gods. He is the Lord of lords. Almighty. So why are you worried?
Don't look down upon your God. To liken him to the God of Balaam. No. He can put every situation under control.
Anogona kuti chinano chose pasi petsoka.
Even pasara a few minutes.
Kandai pasara
he can master the situation.
Anogona kugadzirisa chinano.
He can master the situation.
Anogona kugadzirisa chinano chiripo.
Believest thou this?
Munozvitenda here
izvozvi?
Right now.
While we are preaching like this,
kutenda
kwako kukangosimuka chete,
if your faith just rise,
zvakaitwa nemuprofita zvinoitika
pauri. Prophet can happen.
Unowanotenda zvese zvinogoneka.
You believe all things are possible.
You did not come to church kuti udzoke. We don't come to church with things that are not right in our life to go back with them.
Hatiuyi kuchechi nezvinhu zvisina kumira mushe mupenyu kuti tidzokere nazvo.
Toya kozvisiya kuchechi.
We come and leave it at church.
Congress Apsho akauya ari chirema.
Congress came to the church being a crippled person.
Akadzoka akufamba.
But he went back home walking.
Ndo standard yacho iyoyo.
That's the standard.
Amai vai vakauya nekamwana kakafa kuMexico.
That woman who brought a dead baby.
She came to the absolute.
Akauya kumedziso.
With a dead baby.
Nemwana akafa.
But she brought the dead baby to church.
Asakauya nemwana akafa ku church.
That's what we call church. It's here this morning. She did not leave the dead baby at home. She brought it to church.
You went back after the child was resurrected. You may have brought dead things this morning, which are not working in your life.
In the name of Jesus Christ. Go
back when they are resurrected.
Go back home with those things working. Believe thou this. The presence of the message of the hour is upon the churches of the message of the hour.
Elisha's bones are still resurrecting the dead. If it once happened, it is also forced to happen once again.
If it happened, it must repeat. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Oh, someone say amen. Don't go to the witch doctors with your dead baby. She will decay. Don't go to the witch doctors or false prophets with your case. It will worsen. Bring it to Branham revival. She knew in her heart. She had not read a spoken word. But how many spoken words have you read? This woman had just read in a paper. Just a few lines. That a blind man saw yesterday while the evangelist was preaching. That was enough. Brother, it's enough for you. It's enough for you this morning. She went to the meeting with a dead baby. Kana Mwari akita mashura, haite zero renganga.
It doesn't do the level of the witch doctors.
Because it
will confuse people. You just do way above what the witch doctor can do. Until the witch doctor these wonders are not of
May
our
God help us this morning. What is simuziropa minana pakati pedu? Isawe minana inongoitika ukuzayoja. Kaiwe minana inopfuurira masangano.
But may it have a higher level above the denominational. The witch doctors said they can't do that.
A dead baby
is
raised from the dead.
There is a God.
On
this message there is a God.
And when Jesus is asleep in the boat, it doesn't mean he's not there. Panongoda one disciple anoziva kuti akarara.
There is need for one disciple to know that
one disciple.
Isn't he here? Is there no any
anoziva kuti akarara mubhoti munhu
who know that the Lord Jesus is in this boat?
Anogona kutomuka izvozvi.
And he can rise up,
and
he can
change the situation. Oh, someone say amen. Someone. Mvura dzinowawa dzinopodzwa.
Bitter waters are made sweet.
finance dzakadhakwa dzinopodzwa.
All the financial doldrums are
Neshoko irori
by this word.
Murapi ari pano.
The physician is here. The great physician
anorapa
is here.
finance dzako.
Who heals all your financial issues.
Dzinoda kupodzwa.
There is need for healing to your financial issues. Say, may you heal me, Lord. And you will be healed. Do you want that healing? We have got things in this message. May God help us to touch where we need to touch. We have got our own things. We are people who got their own things. For says, as if we are poor. These are the people. But they made many people rich. Making many people rich.
All right, let me just move on. You know, I have to pass through Samaria. Because there's someone with a need somewhere. While the prophet was ministering to those who were in the line, the pillar of fire would leave the line and go into the congregation. Because there's someone with a need. So I'm sure we are permitted to divert and just go through Samaria. Someone say amen somewhere. Praise the Lord. The robot. When you get to the robot, attend service.
You need to attend the service at that robot. That's a tape.
Absolutely.
Hallelujah. When all they have stormed their cars, just hit on that robot if you think you can do that. He might pass you and you will still find him waiting on the robot.
Because the robot says, stop. We have something like that in this church this morning.
There are some who are refusing to stop in your life.
Just things, they need a robot. Stop. Absolute. Sugar, stop. BP, stop. If you can identify this robot, this absolute things that were just happening in your life haphazardly, can you stop now? If you can identify this absolute, they can stop. Praise the Lord. Robot, go.
Robot not enda.
Go.
Enda.
Ember.
Ember.
It means ember. It doesn't shout. It doesn't fuss. You know, things don't happen because we fuss. They happen because they've identified authority. Simba. Praise the Lord. I've witnessed a junction where there's no robots in Harare. Brother. It's a demon. It's a demon revival. But you just put the robots on. Things will be all right. I need you. You need an absolute in your life. Things should not just happen anyhow. There should be something. To say
no to this. No to this.
And I don't believe things should just continue happening in your life the way they want. It's unscriptural. Because they started. So they must end. Even now.
Right now.
They must hit their end. They must hit their dead end. Those domestic problems must come to
emuhuri
their dead end.
anofana kusvika paanoperera
It might be the next 2 minutes.
zvinogona kunge ari maminitsi mairi
If you believe,
kana uchitenda
they can come.
zvinogona kuitika.
I don't think things should just happen in your life.
handifungi kuti zvinofana kungoitika
You mustn't lose control
haufaniri kuchaya zvekuita
of your life.
neupenyu hwako.
That's why you came to Jesus.
ndosaka wauya kuna jesu.
That's why you came to the message.
ndosaka wakauya mushoko iri.
Zvinoita sister.
It will happen.
Zvinoita. Don't lose hope. Zvinoita.
Usarasikirwa netariro. It will happen.
Vhangeri yatakasiwa iyi, nhaka yatakasiwa iyi.
This inheritance that we have
Ndechokwadi.
is true.
Tine nhaka yatakasiwa.
We have inheritance which he has left for us.
Thank you, sister. Believest thou this?
Munozvitenda here?
Why do you want it to happen tomorrow?
Sei koruda kuti zviitike mangwana?
When it can happen today.
Izvo zvichigona kuitika nhasi.
Why do you want to push it in the days of the prophet?
Seko uchida kuzvidzorera.
And remember, these are still the days of Malachi 4.
Achitongori mazuva aMalachi 4.
I want to remind demons that
these
are still the days of Malachi 4.
Achingori mazuva aMalachi 4.
Things can happen.
That
used to happen.
When
the prophet was still in his body.
Believest
thou this? We are not talking of a Bible prophet. A genuine prophet. Akaratidzwa upenyu hwako iwe.
Who has shown your life until your end, where you will die. He knows everything. God knows everything, brother Chindoko.
When you want to go to Mutare,
he saw it in makore 2000 apfuura. Stopped all the cars which are about to hit you back then, so that you have a nice journey.
What a mighty God we serve.
What a
mighty God we serve.
There
was a woman in America. I don't know her name. I've forgotten her name. She just thought of setting table manners. You know, there are
people who just want other people to do what they want. Go away with your own things. You want to give us your holiness. My holiness comes from the word of God.
Don't set your own standard.
Force me to meet that standard.
We have a standard. The standard is the message of the hour. That is our absolute. Amai ava hapana pavakazviverenga apa vakangofunga kuti banga rinofanira kuenda ku right.
This woman just thought that the knife should go to the right
and the fork to the the fork to the left.
And the fork should go to the left.
Vanga vasingazvizive banyora ipasi.
Those who can write down.
Then she made that a law in America and all over the world. Even styles of dressing. There are women who are just putting an absolute. Today, if you go into in a hotel and you put the knife on the left and the fork on the right, people will stop eating. It's a great sin.
To them,
they look down upon you. But if they come into the hotel with their wives or with putting on short trousers, they are not worried. If they come into the hotel or into Nando's with their clothes swapped, they don't worry. The men putting on the wife's underpants and the woman putting on the woman's trousers, and they come for supper. They are not worried. They are proud. They are actually proud. They actually say we are educated. You are not. Amen. You know, sometimes people look down upon you. When you have not broken the word,
but
but you have broken their standards, I will continue to break your standards. Don't be bound by the standards of human beings. Be bound by the standards of the word of God. Are we together? If you get into a hotel and you feel like eating with a fork on the right and a knife on the left, whatever, or vice versa, go ahead. Go ahead. As long as you have got 1,000 in your pocket. Are we together? You know, even sometimes we Christians, we feel inferior before people who are not even unlearned, who are unlearned. Just because we have broken their standards, then we feel inferior. Rather, if you have an absolute, you still feel superior. Amen. Are we together this morning? May God stop all the nonsense at your home. May the God of this message stop all the rubbish in your life. Things that you don't like to happen. Things that you are not happy with. May the God of the message stop them. Because He is able to stop them. Can you allow Him to stop them this morning? Can you support Him to stop those things this morning? You are sick and tired of sickness. You are sick and tired of being broke. You are sick and tired of a life without the Holy Ghost. May you permit God to do it this morning. You are the one holding. You have the key. You know, don't come to church hoping to go back home the same way you came. Tell those whom you left home that if my situation does not change, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back until my things are sorted out. I shall stay at that church. You tell me that they are now all right. God just want people who are serious. It's still all right. When they get to us, you do what I have said. You won't get help from anywhere. You won't get help from this word of God here. And God will use these brothers. Because He can't do anything. God can't work without a man. He uses a man. He uses a prophet. He used William Branham. He won't use an angel. He will use your sister. He will use your brother. He is next to you this morning. Cornelius. You
have tried and prayed and everything. But your assistance is down there. Go to Joppa and see
a brother, a man.
He's the one who will tell you how will you going to sort your financial issues and how is your business going to rise. He's the one to tell you.
There is a man here, not in heaven here. There is a prophet here. There is a Malachi for here. Who can turn on the light? The light of your life. The light of your family. Don't
allow those
turn on the light this morning. Turn on the light in your life. They will flee. Oh, someone say amen somewhere. Your
job is there.
Don't
have, but yours is there. Just take your job.
unounganidzire nezvevamwe tora zvako.
Why do you want to gather with others? Just take yours.
I assure you, yours is there.
Ndokupa chimboti basa rako ririko.
Zvako zviripo.
Yours is there.
And at the end you must say zvangu zvaita.
Ufana kuti it is
ameno zvako iwe shamwari.
I'm not worried. I don't know about you.
Ameno zvenyu sita zvangu zvaita.
I don't know your sister, but mine is been sorted.
Are we together?
Tiritosere.
Praise the Lord. So everyone is being forced to put the knife on the right hand and the fork on the left hand. If you don't do that, you are looked down upon. You are not counted as educated. But brother, God will count you educated if you keep His word and you break the table manners. Praise the Lord. Are we still together? So he said here, only God is perfect. I am not perfect. Pastor is not perfect. Preachers are not perfect. But one man who is perfect is Jesus. Therefore, He is the absolute. Amen. See, I find churches which try to be superior than other churches and try to use their road as the judging yardstick, or to use their church as the judge, the yardstick. It's wrong. Christ will judge the world. The Father will judge nobody. But he gave the judgment to His Son. Amen. No more standard that you raise your own standard kupena longa. Then you tell the let me remind you, we
are not judged by what you are saying.
We are judged by the message of the hour. God will use the end time message to judge everyone. So don't be put in prison one who tanga ma standards aweka message.
Don't be imprisoned by the people who start their own standards.
Amen. Neither are you judged by any man. I can't judge you with Peter. I can't judge John with Peter. John, you must do what Peter does for you to go to heaven. Munyai must do what Shindokom is doing if you want to go to heaven. No, you must do what the Bible says. You must do what the message says for you to go to heaven. Oh, are we together this morning? Praise the Lord. God is a just judge. Now, God is perfect. His word is perfect. And His word comes without fail. To a prophet. A prophet and his word are one. You know that. Because you read books. So a prophet to a generation is the absolute. I may argue with you, but not with a prophet. If you prophesy this morning, I'll judge your prophecy, but not Malachi 4. Because he is a prophet. He is the absolute. If you preach to me, I have a right to measure your sermon with the Bible, with the spoken word. But you can't measure the prophet. You can't judge the prophet. He is right when he is wrong. Are we together?
Even if you say something in error, to me it's all right.
Are we together? Now the prophet is an absolute to to the generation.
Profita imedziso kuchizvarwa.
So the prophet says here,
Profita anoti pano,
he says here, you know, a doctor
chiremba
is absolute.
Imedziso.
But
asi
a druggist is not.
Anopa mishonga haasi medziso.
He is subject to the subscription, to the prescription.
Anenge achiita zvanyorwa paprescription.
He is bound by the prescription.
Anosungwa neprescription.
Are we together?
Tiri tose.
The doctor
chiremba
puts enough poison
anoisa poison yakaringana
in your prescription
paprescription yako
so that he kills the germ only.
Kuitira kuti angouraye utachiona chete.
It's poison.
Itori poison.
But it's just enough to kill your problem.
Asi yakangoringana chete kuti iuraye dambudziko rako.
Not you.
Kwete kuuraya iwewe.
You must survive.
Unofana kurarama.
You must continue living.
Unofana kuendera mberi neupenyu.
May God help us.
Mwari watibatsire.
Sometimes we preachers,
dzimwe nguva isu
we
vaparidzi
put too much poison.
tinowanza poison.
And we kill the patient.
Touraya murwere.
Are we together?
Tiri tose here.
Sometimes you kill.
Bacho unouraya.
See, waita emphasis pano chimwe chinhu.
And you
yakanyanyisa kuti wakutouraya instead yokuraramisa.
Much emphasis on something and to an extent of killing it instead of saving life.
So a druggist must follow what the doctor wrote.
Saka anopa mishonga anofana kungotedzera zvanyorwa nachiremba.
Because the doctor is perfect.
Nekuti chiremba akakwana.
Dr. Peter is perfect.
Chiremba Peter wakakwana.
Dr. Moses is perfect.
Chiremba Moses wakakwana.
Dr. William Branham is perfect.
Chiremba William Branham wakakwana.
They are prophets.
Waprofita.
You can't correct.
Haungagadzirisa.
I can correct you.
Ndinogona kugadzirisa.
Brother, if you get to a place where you can't be corrected,
ukasvika pekuti hauchakwanisi kugadziriswa, waenda.
Even in church.
Kana dai pachechi.
No matter who corrects you,
zvisinei kuti ndiani akugadzirisa.
Receive correction.
Gatambira kugadziriswa.
Receive correction.
Gashira kugadziriswa.
Never be too big.
Usakura zvakanyanya.
To be corrected.
Zvekuti haungagadziriswi.
Be humble.
Zvininipise.
Because God can use anything.
As
long as it's the word. Uzziah was too big until he missed the correction. Because don't sacrifice. But he refused correction. What happened to him? He was beaten with leprosy. We should always be humble. Moses was the meekest man on earth. Brother Branham was the humblest man. Someone said, I want to correct you. I want to see you outside. I want to correct you. When you get time, I want to correct you. He said, it's okay. Now I can get the time now. Let's go and you correct me.
Say, who are you? If you do that, you are gone.
Praise the Lord. Are we together? Prescription. Follow what's written on the prescription. The one who wrote the prescription has already set the requirements. If you add or subtract, then you are killing someone. Praise the Lord. You know these doctors, Dr. William Branham. God gave us the best doctor. I like the way God works. Someone was praying, and she came to the prayer meeting, at the meetings of the prophet. And the prophet said, you were praying at home for this, that, and this. And he said, do you want me to repeat your prayer? Since the creation of the world, we have never had a man talk like that. I want to repeat your prayer. This is a prophet. Amen. But he said, I heard you want me to repeat your prayer. It was God in the prophet. Friends, let's not put the prophet at the same level with the preacher.
I am telling the truth.
The prophet is God's highest order of interpreting God's word.
Once he says, just have to humble yourself. To say whatever he says is that.
I'm telling you. Everywhere where this message goes, in all nations, they bow down to this word. But if my word goes around, they won't. Because I'm not Malachi 4. Amen. God help us to have reference to the message. God help us to know what the message is. Then it will help us.
I am telling the truth.
If we try to see the message that the prophet preached with my message as a par, then we have a problem. That's why you are not being healed. Because you
must come to a faith and say, if I just hold the book which he preached, I will be healed. If I just listen to the tape, whatever happened on that day, it will also happen to me. If I just touch his gown, this blood will stop.
Because Peter
this is not
This is not James. This is Jesus Christ.
This is Jesus Christ.
That woman with a blood issue, she knew the difference between Peter and Jesus. Are we together? So he said, I'm closing now. I am closing, but we all know the North Star. There are many stars in the sky. But they move. They change. They change positions. Because they are stars. But there's one star which does not change. It's fixed. It's called the North Star. Praise the Lord. Men change. But God does not change. Your mother can change. But God does not change. Your father can change. But the word can't change. Your friend will change when you don't have money. But God never changes. So he is an absolute. It's good to be the same person every time. You will become trustworthy. Be what you are. Don't change for the sake of somebody. Be what you are. Are we together? Don't feel inferior. You know why you change? Because you are feeling inferior. You change your standards to copy someone because you feel inferior. But when you find an absolute, you won't feel inferior. If you know who you are, you won't feel inferior. If you go out there for hunting,
ukabuda kwenda uko kundovhima
and you don't know the north star,
usingazivi nyeredzi yekumusoro,
you won't come back home.
haudzoki kumba.
Because the stars that you may look at will change.
Nekuti nyeredzi dzaunogona kutarisa padziri dzinoshanduka.
Therefore, they can't be absolute.
Naizvozvo hadzigoni kuva mhedziso.
But if you know the north star,
asi kana uchiziva nyeredzi yekumusoro,
its position,
nzvimbo yayo,
you will never get lost.
Haumborasiki.
Because it's always there for you.
Nekuti inongoramba iripo kuitira iwe.
Jesus Christ
Jesu Kristo
is that north star.
ndiyo nyeredzi
He is
yekumusoro.
the same yesterday, today, and
Iye
forever.
mumwe chete wazuro nhasi
When
nekusingaperi.
you are at your point of death,
Kana uri panhoo
he
yerufu,
will be there for you.
anenge aripo kuitira iwe.
When things are out of control,
Kana zvinhu zvekuita
you
manyama
can't manage them.
hauna
he is
chauchaita.
there for you.
Aripo kuitira iwe.
He is there for you this morning.
Aripo kuitira iwe mangwanani ano.
Look away to Jesus.
Tarira kuna Jesu.
He is the word
Ndiye shoko
that the pastor is preaching here.
ririkuparidzwa namufundisi pano.
Handi nyore kuunganidza vanhu vakadai.
It's not easy to gather this gathering like this.
I had a group somewhere.
Ngatine rimwe boka.
I think Pastor Matanga helped me to raise the group
Nokamufundisi
and
Matanga
some of you
akabatsira
guys.
nevamwe venyu.
So a brother at my church, he said, I know we can, Pastor, you can give me the group. I can look after it and they love me. I said, oh,
Vakati ndogona ndipa boka iri vanondida
Okay.
ndokwanisa kuvatara ndikati
you take
zvakanaka
over the group.
unogona kutora kuboka
Today,
iri. Nhasi
there is not even one.
hakuna kana mumwe chete.
People think it's easy.
Vanhu vanofunga kuti zviri nyore.
It's not easy.
Hazvizi nyore.
It's not easy to have a big gathering like this.
Hazvizi nyore kuva neungano yakakura
It takes
sezvizvi.
God
Zvinotorera Mwari
to be with that man.
kuti aite zvakadaro.
It's true, Brother Chindoko.
Ichokwadi brother Chindoko.
Amen. So we should respect
Saka tinofanira kuremekedza
any man's work.
basa remunhu upi zvake.
We should respect
Tinofanira kuremekedza
when a minister is able to gather some people.
kana muparidzi achikwanisa
We
kuunganidza
should
vanhu.
respect that.
Tinofanira kuzviremekedza
It's
izvo.
not easy.
Hazvizi nyore.
We have seen people
Kaona vanhu
who thought it was easy to start a church.
vaifunga kuti zviri nyore kutanga chechi.
They go
Vanoenda
and work a little bit,
voti shandei,
but one day you see them coming back.
funga musi unoona vachidzoka.
Vachiti seberai uko ndikuda pokugara.
Say I need a place to stay.
Because they know it's not easy.
Kuti vanoziva kuti hazvisi nyore.
It's not easy, brother.
Hazvisi nyore hama.
Ukaona pamira vanhu vakadai Mwari ari mazviri.
If you see gathering like
Uye
this,
ari
God is in it.
kutosapota
He is supporting
munhu iyeyo.
that man.
Are we together?
Tiri tose here.
You must have an absolute.
Unofanira kuva nemhedziso.
We read about Paul.
Taverenga pamusoro paPauro.
His absolute was his church.
Kuti mhedziso yake yakanga iri chechi yake.
He leaned to the Pharisees so much.
Akanga akabatikana nechifarisi
To the
zvakanyanya
bishops.
nemabhishop.
When they sent them, he would go in their name.
Paavatuma aienda
He had
muzita
no
ravo.
absolute.
Anga asina mhedziso.
Some of us have absolutes of our wives,
Vamwe tine mhedziso yemudzimai,
absolute of your husband,
kana mhedziso yemurume,
absolute of your money,
kana kuti mhedziso yemari yako,
absolute of your business.
kana kuti mhedziso yebhizimisi rako.
But brother, those absolutes will come back to the
Asamba
ground.
mhedziso idzodzo dzinosvika
They
pakuva
will
pasina,
crumble.
dzinokoromoka.
Absolute of your position at work.
Mhedziso yechinzvimbo chako
You
kubasa,
trust your position at work so much.
unonyanyisa kuimba nenzvimbo
Until
yako
anything you
kubasa,
just think about your work.
kusvika pane chese unongofunga
Brother, one day
nezvekubasa.
you will be fired.
Rimwe zuva uchadzingwa basa,
Then you will know it was a wrong absolute.
uchaziva kuti yanga isiri mhedziso chaiyo.
Paul had an absolute of his church.
Pauro anga ine mhedziso
But
yechechi
one day
yake.
on his way to
Asi rimwe
Damascus,
zuva ari munzira kuenda
his
Damasco,
absolute came to nothing.
mhedziso yake yakawa
He
pasina.
met a real absolute.
Akasangana nemhedziso
He
chaiyo,
met the pillar of fire.
akasangana neshongo
That's
yemoto.
why he's writing like this.
Ndosaka ari kunyora sezvizvi.
He's talking like this to
Ari kutaura izvi
King Agrippa.
kuna mambo Agripa.
I was not disobedient.
Handina kurega
Something
kuteerera.
happened.
Pane chakaitika.
I'm not following my mother.
Handisi kuteera mai wangu
I'm not following my husband.
kana murume wangu.
Something happened.
Pane chakaitika.
I met somebody.
Ndakasangana
I met God.
ndakasangana naMwari.
Hallelujah. That's an absolute.
Ndo mhedziso.
Come rain.
Kana mvura
Come
ikauya,
thunder.
kana mutinhira
I will stand with the
wakauya,
message of the hour.
ndinongogara neshoko renguva.
Because I have an absolute.
Nekuti ndine mhedziso.
Whatever happens,
Chero chinoitika,
rich or poor,
kupfuma kana kuwa murombo,
living or dead,
kurarama kana kufa,
I know who I have believed.
Ndinoziva
He
wandakatenda.
made the pillar of fire.
Akasangana
He
neshoko
heard the
yemoto,
voice of God.
akanzwa inzwi raMwari.
Hallelujah. He heard the voice of the pillar of fire.
Akanzwa inzwi reshongo yemoto.
Paul,
Paulo,
you need that sister.
unoda izvozvo hanzvadzi.
You need that, my brother.
Unoda izvozvo hama.
You need a Christ-centered life.
Unoda upenyu hwakatarisana
A
chete pana
life which is
Kristu.
not centered on money.
Upenyu husinganyanya
A
kutarisa
life
pane
which is not
zvemari.
centered on material things.
Upenyu husina kuzembera
A
pazvinhu
life which
zvepanyama.
is centered on the word of God.
Asi upenyu hwakayangarara pashoko raMwari.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. You are satisfied.
Unogutsikana.
Whatever goes, whatever comes.
Chero chinoenda, chero chinouya.
You know where you are standing.
Unoziva pawakamira.
You know where you are standing.
Unoziva pawakamira.
Emotion or no emotion.
Manyawi kana kushayikwa
Sensation
kwawo.
or no sensation.
Manzwiro kana kushayikwa kwawo.
Prophet or no prophet.
Profita kana kushayikwa
You
kwacho.
know what you have believed.
Unoziva zvawakatenda.
You know who you have believed.
Unoziva kuti wakatenda.
You know where you are going.
Unoziva kwauri
You
kuenda.
know who called you.
Unoziva akakudana.
Hallelujah. You are not leaning on a human being.
Handisi kuzembera pamunhu.
You are leaning on the word of God.
Akazembera pashoko
You are
raMwari.
leaning on Christ.
Akazembera pana
On
Kristu.
Christ.
Pana
The
Kristu.
solid rock.
Ibwe.
I stand.
Ndichamira.
All other
Kumwe
ground
kose.
is sinking sand.
Ijecha rinonyudza.
My family is a sinking sand.
Mhuri yangu ijecha
My money
rinonyudza.
is a sinking
Mari
sand.
yangu ijecha
My popularity is
rinonyudza.
a sinking sand.
Mukurumbira wangu
But
ijecha
on Christ, the solid
rinonyudza. Asi
rock,
pana Kristu
I will
ibwe.
stand.
Ndichamira.
I will never forsake you.
Handimbokurambei.
I will never leave you.
Handimbokusiyei.
If you become poor,
Kana ukaita
I will
murombo.
still love you.
Ndinokuda
I will
zvakadaro.
still be in your house.
Ndimbori mumba
I
mako.
will never leave you.
Handimbokusiye.
Oh, can you make a commitment this morning?
Mungatsva here commitment.
I will also never leave you, Lord,
Ndeniwa ndikusiyei
for the
Ishe.
things of this world.
Nekuda kwezvinhu zvenyika
I
ino.
can't leave God because of a YouTube.
Handingasiyi Mwari nekuda kweYouTube.
Some of us are leaving God.
Vamwe vedu vari kusiya
They
Mwari.
give more time
Vanopa nguva yakanyanya
to their phone
kufoni yavo
than to Jesus,
pane kuna
whom
Jesu
they have invited
uyo wakoka
to come for supper
kuti auye
in
kusapa
your house.
mumba mako.
And you don't entertain him.
Hauchatandadzi
You
Jesu.
entertain your phone.
Wakubatikana
Oh, God has
nefoni
mercy
yako.
upon us
Mwari
this
watinzwire
morning.
nyasha
Brother,
mangwanani.
go back and entertain
Amadzokera
him.
kumba wondotaura naye.
Go back and pray him.
Enda kumba
Worship him.
womushumira.
Don't worship your phone.
Usashumira foni
Don't
yako.
worship your status.
Usashumira chipimo
Worship
chako.
Jesus Christ.
Asishumira Jesu Kristu.
Oh. We invite him home.
Tinomukoka kumba.
We invite him to the bedroom
Tinomukoka mubedroom.
and ignore him.
Tova tamushaya hanya naye.
Hollywood
Hollywood
is a send of devils,
kuti ndo muzinda wemadhimoni
and they really know what they are doing.
uye vanonyatsoziva zvavanenge vachiita.
Hollywood was on the drive-in.
Hollywood yanga iri pekuti paichairwa chipinda
Vachiona mabhaisikopu.
pekuti waindoonera mabhaisikopu.
And the Pentecostals,
nomapendecostal
they said,
vanoti
our children
vana vedu
mustn't go to bicycles.
havafaniri kuenda kundoona mabhaisikopu.
And there was a meeting
Pakaitwa musangano
in hell,
mugehena
how we can deal with this group.
kuti toshanda sei kune boka iri.
Amen. Hako iwe usingaite meeting nemhuri yako.
It's up to you who doesn't have a
Satan
meeting with your
anoita meeting
family.
nemadhimona.
The devil will have a meeting with the demons.
So you can say, okay, let's invent a TV.
Saka tigadzire TV.
All the Pentecostals
Mapendecostals ese
that didn't allow their children to go to drive-ins,
airambidza vana
they were
vakuenda
the
kundoona
first ones to buy
mabhaisikopu.
TV.
Ndo vakatanga kutenga maTV.
And when the TV is there,
TV yapo
you can't read your Bible.
hauverengi bhaibheri.
The moment you want to read the Bible, you
Paunongoda
get
kuverenga
drowsy.
bhaibheri chete
You
wakutoda
get drowsy
kurara
and weak
watoneta
because of looking at that bewitching
nekuda
thing.
kwekutarisa kuTV.
You can't read the spoken word.
Haugoni kuverenga spoken word.
Brother Branham said the glamour
Vanachira tiri kupenya
can paralyze your faith.
kunogona kukanganisa kutenda kwako.
You no longer have the love you used to have.
Hauchina rudo rwawaiva narwo. It has been taken away by that TV.
Achingobva kubasa chete jaketi rake apo atogara.
Just coming from work, he's now on the TV. He's now watching the television. Until they are tired, that's when they go and listen to the tape.
That's Hollywood.
You Hollywood.
Brother, God sent us a man, William Marion Branham. I love the prophet. I love his children. You can't love me without loving my children. I can't love you without loving your children. Amen.
If you want to see how people love you, just to watch the treatment they give to children.
Pastor,
I've just stopped my car. And I will take your child
because
to come with
you.
me.
Because you mean so much. Amen. Do you love the Lord this morning?
They said there are
and they
a certain group of people
they are blasting television.
who doesn't watch television.
That's okay, let's have a meeting. And see what we can do with these Branhamites. One demon says, I have a plan. Let's invent a small phone. And we transfer by scope and TV on that phone. They will come and buy.
They will buy fancy phones. Their children. They will buy them
then
fancy
we
phones.
create YouTube.
YouTube.
Where we can put all nonsense.
But they
will buy.
Where is this being planted?
Hollywood.
In Hollywood.
By the time they want to listen to the agapo, they will be tired. They will sleep. And let's put a lot of pictures on their phone. They like pictures. Branhamites like pictures. Status.
Status.
And they let them. We want. Some have got 200 friends. Some 1,000 friends. And all those friends, if they put their pictures, they're 1,000 friends. By the time he finished, they will be tired. Satan stood up and started jumping. Said, I will promote you. I think that will work. We will put pornography there. The thing was passed. We have today.
I also have my phone.
We have passed the level of beside TV mumba. There
is now need for the genuine Holy Spirit.
We now need the true Bible Holy Ghost.
The Holy Spirit that loves the brethren. Holy Spirit loves your brother. The genuine seen by the love
no matter what he has done. Love covers a lot of multitudes of sins. No matter what your wife has done, love covers the sins of your wife. No matter what your husband has done, no matter what your brother has done, like Abraham, go out for Lot. That's the genuine Holy Ghost. Oh, someone say amen. Someone, we must love one another. If we have a genuine absolute, we must love one another. Oh, someone say amen. Someone. When the angel came to the house with a token, which had a token, he did not get in the house to see each member one by one. He was satisfied to see the blood outside.
But
brothers and sisters, they are not satisfied with the blood at the door and all. They want to get in the house and see each one of your children. They want to see each one who is inside the house. God have mercy upon us.
If you hate me, did not enter into the house.
Masoja Joshua nakupinda mbamarahabu kuti tuda kuona munhu one by one.
All the armies of Joshua did not get into the Rahab's house to see each member.
When I see the blood,
I'll
pass over you.
Chapfura.
But it's not so with the brethren. Ukamona aita pass through.
If you see him passing through with the brother,
di bururu wake.
It is
pa bururu wake hapinde mukati.
Don't get inside.
May
God help us.
Love.
Rudo.
Do you know love heals?
Just feeling love. Even a dog just sits without good food. We just see, it's angry, but he's feeling loved.
Unaweza kuti hama yako yoyo akuda kucollapse nemutoro. Pastor wako akuda kucollapse nemutoro.
Pastor is about to collapse.
Aremerwa. Unofanira kutenda ku understand.
You must understand.
This man is carrying mutoro we 300.
He's carrying the burden
500. Ari one.
500 people just single-handed.
Anoda kutodiwa.
He needs to be loved. Are we hearing each other this afternoon?
You
need to love that child. Just need love. It's a little child.
Chicken iwe waona mari yako uri baba, you can't afford kunomutengero kumbomspoilawo pa chicken ina.
You can't even buy him.
Zvanoitwa nema boyfriends.
Just like what the boyfriends do.
Chita boyfriend iwe.
Just be that boyfriend.
Kwete yokutorana naye yokungomspoila.
But just to spoil
mwana wako iye.
Your child.
Hazoende pa kuma boyfriend. Kwete kuona chicken ini pa paper. Nokuona wamwe apa ari kutofonewa kuti ndinokupa chicken ndinokupa. Zvauda kupiwa na sweet dad. You know the sweet dad cannot. What sweet dad wants to give her, you give her.
Zvauda kupiwa na sugar daddy chimupa iwe.
When sweet dad comes, she will tell him, my father can buy me nandos. My father can buy me chicken. My father can buy me dresses. I need no sugar daddy.
Andidi sugar daddy.
Plus muri sauti food. Zimwenguwa tino condemn. Even in preaching, guys, we have made many errors as preachers.
Just rebuke unto death until someone dies.
Amen. God have mercy.
Some need to be. You tried this and it failed. You tried this and it failed. Just get into the love gear. Just get into the love gear. Being the absolute.
And remember, you better keep them. If you lose them, you won't get them.
Just jealously.
Are we together? And this kuparidza manike bamara kaifa akaparidza isitapo kutsigira zvakaparidza.
We are just emphasizing on what he preached.
Pastor anda kudiwa.
The pastor needs to be loved.
Mukada pastor wenyu panapa hambokweshwa.
If you love your pastor, you won't rebuke you.
Unoshaya kuti ndoparidze. Ukavhura zvinokwesha kwakutovhara. Kwangoti ngativerenge Amazing Grace.
Let's read Amazing Grace.
Because love breeds love.
Kuti rudo runobereka rudo.
Hatred breeds hatred.
Ruwengo runobereka ruwengo.
ndikauya ndataurirwa kuti nhengi wanga wachidai nhengi wanga wachidai ndinouya ndakapreparewo.
I also come prepared for that.
Sindikauya ndichizwa kuti chechi inondida.
But if I come knowing that the church loves me,
I
will just come prepared
and God will come down.
Mwari wanoburuka.
Ndirikutaura chokwadi chechi. Azvitibatsire kurwa, azvitibatsire kutaura namakuwa, azvitibatsire kunyombana, aitiwa chakanaka. Hama yako ikaitiwa chakanaka, fara naye.
You just rejoice together with your brother.
Fara naye, aikona kudai zvaitiwa inini.
Just rejoice together, not to say
selfishness.
Yawe undini.
Mwari ndokutendai.
Lord, I thank you.
Ndokutendai nehama yangu.
I thank you for my brother.
Tutsirai.
Just add more from your heart,
and
you also go to just
but
come also your, but the tendency that you have, we want to remain on top. That's not good. May God help us.
It's not, especially pastors, sisters, brothers. You should love your pastor. I'm sorry, I'm being shown everywhere, and I don't care. I'm not judged by men, I'm judged by God. I'm saying, as you could cost an ounce, kungouya one drink chaiyo kuna pastor wako.
Doesn't cost you
mapepa ine bottle resimbi nokuti vamwe vakubaya maplastic ayo kuti woisa mushonga yesimbi.
Just bring in the coke from the glass containers.
Akona kuenda drink yeplastic, vamwe vakubaya jikiseni opoisena imomo. Ndio panosvika kucherana muchechi ndio pakunosvika.
That's where big biting will end up.
Pokubaya jikiseni mubhodhoro redrink ya pastor wako kana ya brother wako kana ya sister wako.
To give your brother or your sister.
Are we together?
Titosere.
Katidane muone zvinoitika. Mama problem atingaendesa nawo mudzimba. If we love our pastor namai mufundisi muchida madhikoni muchida kungopractice rudo nekungoitira waya wari underprivileged waya. Sister kuti timboende.
Sister, I want you to
kukuratidza ikaro kandakatenga.
I want to show you what I bought.
She will find herself in Nando's.
Uzoona kwa Nando's.
Modya mese sister watomboziva
chinonzi Nando's. Together she doesn't know the Nando's.
Wachisvika kumba chavanotanga kuita kugodama kwako kunamatira.
When she arrives home, the first thing she will pray for you.
Komborai brother Tongo.
Bless brother Tongo.
Tutsirai mari dzavo.
Just aid upon his money.
Vana vavo ngavaroorwe.
May his children get married.
That little gesture.
Chinhu chidiki ichocho.
It's not all these things we want to do. If you can love one another. Love is not segregatory.
The love which is not segregatory.
Yokungoti chero zvari munhu wacho chero angori mwana wa Mwari.
Just love any child of God.
I was in town with my wife and daughter. And this short man came to my car. He was selling a few things, sangamids and so on. So he said, he was very short like a bushman. So he said, I'm selling these things. I said, I don't have money. I can't buy. Then he said, okay, can you give me $1 for lunch? I said, I don't have $1 to give you for lunch. But if I come next time and see you, I'll give you $1. He said, it's okay. He went away. And I drove home. After a day or two, I drove back to town. I parked where I met that man. Coincidentally, that man came to my car and he had forgotten. It was me who had spoken to him. So he came to my car. I'm selling sangamizi. I'm selling this and that. I said, okay, I don't have money to buy your things. But I promised you. He stood. You said you want $1 for lunch. And yes. It's me who said I'll give you when I meet you next time. He started smiling. I opened my wallet. I pulled the $1. I gave to the man. Brother, that man was happy. He started putting his hands in the pocket and said, thank you. Thank you very much. He had forgotten, but I still remember. Amen.
Amen.
Love.
Rudo.
Absolute.
Medziso.
Genuine absolute.
Medziso yemazviro kwazvo.
It will make you understand your sister.
Inoita kuti unzwisise.
It will make you understand your wife.
Inoita kuti unzwisise mudzimai wako.
She goes through rough times.
Anopinda nenguva dzakakasharara.
She has no holiday.
Haana holiday.
She has no off.
Haana off.
She is always working.
Anogara achingoshanda.
If you can understand her,
kana ukagona kumunzwisisa,
then you love her.
Unomuda.
You love her.
Unomuda.
Amen. Are we together this morning?
Tiritosera mangwana.
Absolute.
Medziso.
Have your own absolute.
Iwane medziso.
Your own experience.
Chiitiko chako chawakasangana.
That you will say.
Chokuti unoti.
If everyone else goes away,
kana wamwe wose wakaenda,
I will still go with Jesus.
Ndichangoramba
I
ndichienda na
will still support the gospel.
Charamba ndichitsigira vhangeri.
Amen. Now I want to finish by this scripture here.
Toda kupedza nerugwaro urwu.
My emphasis
pandiri kuda kusimbisa
is not on me.
Hapasi paneni.
It's on the prophet.
Asi pamuprofita.
Amen. You don't. I asked my church.
Takabvunza church yangu.
Do you listen to agapos at home?
Munoteerera here.
Many of them they say yes.
Wazhinji vacho vakati ho.
But they won't.
Asi havateereri.
I believe even here it's the same.
Ndotenda kuti kana pano zvimwe chete.
I would love kuti uteerere pastor wenyu pano. Then nemuprofita. Ungawapedze wese pasi pese wakati pa YouTube.
Would you finish all the preachers on YouTube?
And
some of those stuff are contradictory to what the pastor preaches here. They are contradictory. And you are busy.
Those things are not absolute. Absolute is the prophet.
Is the prophet.
And your pastor will answer for you. I'm being recorded. But it's true.
Until someone doesn't have a church, doesn't have a pastor, just wondering, the preachers are now many.
You must have an absolute. Waona huyo waterera waenda kuno huyo waterera waona huyo waterera waona huyo waterera waona
listen to that one.
Pamwe anoparidza kubatota anoparidza kupfura pastor wako hakuna anoparidza kupfura pastor wako.
Preaches more than your pastor.
Munhu wana anoparidza kupfura pastor wako ndi William Marion Branham.
Preaches more than your pastor is William Marion Branham.
That scripture yakatawa na Paul, it suits this day. They will heap for themselves teachers. Heap. Muhi wakadaiwo.
Heap like this of preachers. What's the problem? What do you want? What are you looking for? What are you looking from that heap? You see a wife, if you have two husbands at home, you just see confusion. Who doesn't know where the boyfriend says he wants to see at 2 o'clock, and the husband might arrive at any time. So she is always not stable.
Thank you. Unstable.
Because
I control. Amen. Are we together?
Tiritosere.
Kune vanhu vari kusida mapensions avo kuti uwane agapo.
There are people who are parting with their pension for you to get the agapo. Some going without meals to ensure that you get the agapo. Some are just giving their pension for you to get the agapo. There is only one voice on the agapo.
Elijah.
The voice of Elijah.
Akatawa na Mwari kuna Malachi.
Who was said by God to the Malachi, the Eliezer.
Na pastor wako.
And your pastor.
Come on, church. Ndauya pano through your pastor. Anakuya through other pastor.
I did not come here through.
Enda unorenga pa agapo yakuti pana mapastor mangana alipo.
Going in from your cup, there's only one. That's why you don't get blessings. That's why your finances are not all right.
And unenge autoti ndoteerera nhengi kupfuura pastor wangu.
To this one more than my pastor.
Chienda ikweyo.
Then go there.
Ungade kuti ndikusapote pamba pangu iwe wana umwe murume.
You want me to support you once you have got another husband? Go and stay with that husband.
I'm telling you, brother, there is one message that will judge us. It's Brother Branham's message.
Brother Branham.
The
one that you are ignoring.
The one that
you are sleeping without listening. You will see it waiting for you.
I'm
wearing this nice suit. You don't know where I came from. Don't look in the face. People are not judged by their dressing and their faces. God gave you a pastor, you must get satisfied. God gave you the prophet, get satisfaction in that. Behold, I send you Elijah the
Congress
prophet.
Upshaw will be healed through his ministry. The woman and Jemima, her son, will be healed through that ministry. Your finances will be boosted through that ministry. Your children will get married through that ministry. When God sends a man, that man is when God sends your pastor to Rusabe, that was enough for you.
You will remain the same even next year and this year as well. Everything must grow.
Next year, tax shop yako inafana kuwa ya supermarket.
The corona, your tax shop should be a supermarket. Anything with life must grow. I am telling the truth. What I am telling is the truth.
I am not elevating myself.
I
am elevating Malachi 4. I am elevating your pastor. Someone say amen. I'm not trying to make myself big before you. I'm nothing. But thank God for a prophet. Thank God for a pastor who knows you, who looks after you. Hallelujah. Pastor, love your church. Church, love your pastor. Kungotsvaka utenga saka chairo kana usina mari chingotenga uziswitire rine danda riye tumfundisi ngiyakutanda pela
give it to the pastor.
Andina hangu huku asi saka.
Say I don't have the chicken but I have this sweet.
Saka iri pastor muziwe kuti ndinemi.
To know that I am with you.
It's not big things. Ndauya nemuriwo unonzi munyevu.
I brought this mnyeve.
Something is done in love. Some people think it's the rich who should give. It's wrong. Brother chindoko ndiye anofanira kupa chete. No. Iwewe usina iwewe sacrifice.
You must sacrifice.
Mwari anokupa.
And God will give you.
Mwari anokupa zvakanaka.
God will give you.
Are we together?
I love you, my brethren. I am not somebody who just came. I have fought many battles. We were standing together. Up to now, you have prospered. We are still together. We are still preaching the same love gospel. Love your pastor. Your pastor love you.
Ukaziwa kuti unodiwa so uri pastor.
Just know that you are loved as a pastor.
Everything.
Unaita zvose
for the church.
Kuitira church.
You do. My subject is absolute, but I'm sorry. But absolute without love is not absolute.
Kuti medziso pasina rudo haisi medziso.
You need to love your wife. I'm closing.
Fana kuda mudzimai wako.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Let me just close by reading this word here. Acts 2:22.
Temabasa 2:22.
Kudana kunopozwa. Kuda munhu anopora. Acts 2 chapter 22.
Mabasa apostle 2 verse 22.
Ndakucloser muitenda kunocha. Do you love the Lord?
Unoda ishere?
I went to Chingwe yesterday. I was sorting out a boat for a brother who is in Botswana. So when I got there, there's a very poor family that lives there. They live through panning gold and korokosaring. So when this sister saw me, I had some kids. After attending to the carpenters, she came to me with a little paper bag. And she said, please go and give me my pastor. I said, why bothering yourself? You need these things. You don't have to give us. So when I got home, I gave my wife. She opened the paper bag. You know what that sister put in? 2 small pumpkins. Butterners, 2 butterners. And some very few beans. It's expression of love. Someone who has got an absolute in her soul. Amen. Appreciating what we are doing for them. So my last scripture is Acts 2:22. I hope you have been blessed. Do you love your neighbor? Do you love your sister? You never know. Maybe your sister won't be here by end of year. She will be dead. Why don't you just turn a new page on her? Love her. Talk to them. Be nice to her. Verse 22. He says here, ye men of Israel, Acts 2:22. Ye men of Israel, ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you, approved. Brother Tom, approved. Lonika approved.
If a loan is approved, the money will come. If you don't get the money, then the loan was not approved.
Amen. Munu. Angari smaller in stature, but approved of God. Approved of God. Where was I now? Verse 22. Verse 22, yes. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you.
For you to become easy for you to believe. For it to become easy for you to follow you. I am now approving.
Hey. By miracles. That's one of God's approvals. Whenever God sends a man, signs and wonders, miracles follow that ministry. He is approving that man. Hallelujah. By miracles. By miracles and wonders. And signs. He was God
Angari Mwari.
The word became flesh.
Shoko rakawanyama.
But God did not just leave him like that. It was
Asimusiya
going to be difficult for people to believe him.
Zvaitozomera vanhu kuti vamutende.
So he approved him.
Saka akamusimbisa.
With miracles.
Nemabasa esimba.
Signs.
Zviratidzo.
And wonders.
Nemashura.
Hasn't God done the same thing to us?
Mwari haana kuita here zvimwe chete kwatiri?
Would it be difficult for us to believe that Malachi 4 is the 70th messenger?
Zvingatiomera here kutenda kuti Malachi 4 yanga iriyo nhume yechinomwe?
Amen. The works that Jesus did.
Mabasa akaitwa naJesu.
Our prophet did.
Muprofita wedu akaita.
And we are witnesses.
Uye tiri zvapupu
to you.
Kwamuri.
Minana yakaitwa haina kumboitwa nana Paul. Haina kumboitwa nana Moses. Yakaitwa munguva ino yekupedzesa.
They were done in this time, in these end times.
And it can still happen.
Zvinogona kuramba zvichiitika.
Still happening.
Zvichitori kuitika.
Kune zvinhu zviri kuitika pano zvamusina
kumbotaura. A lot of things happening which you didn't tell me.
Because of this ministry.
Nekuda kweshumiro iyi.
Handizvera madzangu.
Isn't that so?
Zvingakuomerai here kutenda.
Can it be difficult for you to believe?
Kuti unogona kugamuchira
that you can receive what you want.
The mere fact do you know kuti pakaparidzwa maridzo zhinji dzatiri kuteera idzi?
When most of these they were preached in the Pentecostal denominational churches to people who didn't hear.
They would hook manipikini woteerera wasina kungotenda mazayoja maapostolic waiteerera wachikoteerera vanhu vasingazvitende.
People who were not.
But here we are.
Asi hezvi tiri pano.
Anhu acho tazosvika manje.
The very own people we have now arrived. We are now here. We did not follow wonders. We are not following the signs. There will be pandemonium if somebody who was crushed by a car has been raised. And the sister brings a baby and she's resurrected. There will be pandemonium here. We did not follow the miracles. But we are happy that our prophet was approved. He was approved
with his signs and wonders.
The wonders. Can it be difficult for you to start doubting that there is a pastor who stands by the word from when you started until today? And the prophet who is still standing, speaking the same thing,
not wavering.
You must prosper by the word that you believed. You must prosper by this word that you believe. Yes, override all the protocols. You are not educated, but may God bless you. May He bless your family. May He bless whatever you are doing. By believing the prophet sent by God.
Come on, someone say
amen. How many believe this? Be the Obed-Edom of Rusape. We want both the natural and spiritual. What kind of God do I serve? I want something to eat home. I want something to eat.
Hallelujah.
If I say hallelujah, and I just then He is able. He can do that for you this morning.
Believe thou this.
After you are healed, you are now healed. You need food at home. You need profit in your business. We are now coming to the year end. Let it happen. May you go play with your books. Do you believe it? That's the same God you are ignoring is the one who can do this. You have profit. He is able to do that. He can do that. May God bless you. May the God preaching here bless you. There is no industry, but may God bless you. Even without industry, may they be surprised. Those who scolded you, those neighbors who just paid attention, let them be surprised. May God do something in your house this morning. May God do something which will shock your neighbor. As we close,
Mwari wandaparidza uyu, Mwari wapasta matanga, ngaite chimwe chiro chokuti neighbor wako ati Joshua vanhu ava ndiwana Mwari.
These people are men of God.
Munozvitenda here mangwana?
Do you believe this?
Ndakuparidzira vanhu vakaguta.
I want to preach to people who have eaten something.
Vari kufara.
People who are happy. So God is able to do that. That's where He specializes. I am not talking something that He also may He do the same to your house. May He do that to your house this morning. May this year end in a special way. The few weeks that are left from the end, may there be something may there be for something which you want to do. Say there is something which is the evil that in this December, kuti zvinoita chete. Say it's possible.
Chakashaisha chii mwana wangu?
What wrong that
chakatadza chisina kutadzwa nevatadzi chii? Kana ndinokumiririra mangwanani nezita ramambo Jesu Kristu. Nezita ramambo Jesu Kristu. Haunganamate kubva January kusvika nhasi. Kwakufotora gore rino zviri zvazviri. Ndaramba. Ndaramba semufundisi weshoko raMwari. Mwari ngavatoite chimwe chiro.
May God do something.
Vari kumabasa izvo zvari kupiwa double pay.
Those at work are receiving their bonus.
Vana mabasa papi.
But most of you are not
double pay kumba kwako.
God give you
November mwezi webonus.
In November is a
November mwezi webonus.
We are in a bonus month.
Jesu ari pano mambo wedu. Ngakupewo bonus. Kusina basa kudaro Mwari ngavakupe bonus. Unozi ngakupe bonus yemwe yamutsvene. Ngakupe bonus yechikafu kumba kwako.
Bonus for food at your home.
Service yako unopera.
Is the service coming to an end?
Jesu Mwari wenyu mambo wenyu na mambo wangu.
Jesus Christ
my Lord. Vanhu vadyaira. Ane hanya nechikafu chedu. Akati vadyaira na havangaende kumba. Wachitsanya. He cares for you. He cares for the state iri kumba kwako. Aiwa kana ngirozi ngadziende koshandira zvinhu zviri kumba kwako. Mwari ngavashandire zvinhu zviri kumba kwako ikoko. Ngavaende kukitchen ikoko. Ngavapinde mupandiri imomo. Vaone zvirimo. Shoko ngaritaurwe. Ngapave nebonus mangwanani ano. Munozvigamuchira here mangwanani?
Do you receive it this morning?
Munotendera kuti Mwari wenyu anogona kupa bonus?
Give you bonus.
Zvinogoneka.
It's possible.
Zvinogoneka shamwari.
It's possible, my friend.
Ndine zvikomana 5 ndachiparidza kuti mota munofana kuita mota panapa kwete kundogara muchifamba netsoka muchitiburiwa dust nevanhu vasinganamata. Change grade munofana kutiburiwa dust. Kwakatengwa mota 5 kuchechi nezvivafana zvidoko-doko ichauya neyacho zvivafana
zvetabata
gold.
The young men.
Ngati ya bonus.
So this is the bonus.
May
the bonus also overflow here. I don't know what God is going to do. I don't know what God is going to do. Don't be worried. The brothers. Those who believe it, they will benefit. May they be given your address and your name.
Kuti mangwana kukaedza enda parusape.
The morning go to Rusape.
Panamba so utsanza guru.
This number in Tsanza Guru.
Kumadokera kana kumabvazwa kwani kwani.
Kumabvazwa.
And I know I see 1,000 Christmas.
Go and give him this 1,000.
Mwari anozviita zvinogoneka
God
iwe.
can do that, it's possible.
Mwari anozviita shamwari, Mwari
God can do
anogona.
that, God is able.
He is a commander of everything.
Iye mutungamiri wa zvose.
Ndakomanda masahwara.
I have commanded the
Ndakomanda
rabbits.
masahwara.
I have commanded the
Kuti
rabbits
akufide.
to feed you.
Mugore rino, Christmas yegore rino, ndakomanda
I
masahwara.
have summoned the
Kuti
rabbits
akufide.
to give you food.
Unozvitenda ere mangwanani?
Do you believe this morning?
Unozvitenda ere mangwanani?
Do you believe this morning?
Mwari ane hanya nevana vake.
God cares for his
Asvingaite
children.
mafambiro amaita gore rese muchiyakona matapana
When you
apa.
came here to
Ropera
pray
pasina
here,
zvaitika
if
baiwa
the
Mwari
way
haadaro.
no, God
Mwari
doesn't
anotsvaka nzira chete.
God will just find a way.
Ndo maperero azoita service yema.
That's how the service
Haungaende
ended.
kumba une nzara.
You can't go home starving.
Haungadzoke kumba hazvinei basa. Handina basa necondition yemarusapepe.
I don't care about the condition of
Handina basa
service.
pano kuti zvinhu hazvisi kutengwa.
I don't care that
Tiri
things are
kuti
not
bonus
good.
ngariwepo.
I am saying let there be
Bonus
bonus.
ngariwepo.
Let there be a bonus.
Kana achashandisa mwana wako ari South
If you're
Africa,
going to
kana
use
ari
your
overseas,
child in South
kana
Africa,
achashandisa
overseas,
mukoma wako anga
whatever,
achona,
whoever,
ameno. But unofanira kureceiva phone.
You must unofana kuwa ne phone
Unofanirwa kureceiva phone yokuti uya utore zviro kubhasi.
to say come and collect
Nezita ramambo Jesu
in
Kristu.
the name of Jesus Christ.
Shoko redu rine minana iri.
This word is
Rine mashura.
has got wonders.
Believe rest without this.
Munozvitenda here.
Munozvitenda.
Live without this.
Ndaida $300. Pano munhu andakanda promisa ndikati ndiri kuda kukupa mari.
I wanted to give someone
Ndokupa after service. Mangwana after service.
Said tomorrow after
Ndisina kana
service.
send.
I didn't have any cent.
Ndichingovhura door kundoti ndipinde muoffice.
When I wanted to
Service
open the door,
started. Ndakamuti ndokupa after service.
said I will give you after the service.
Ndakabva kumba ndisina kana send.
So I came home without any money.
Ndavhura door.
I opened the door
Ndapinda muoffice.
and I get in the
A
office.
certain brother came running.
Nyama yaka yechimhanya.
Pastor nomuraiteri.
How are you, pastor?
Nomuraiteri brother.
Said fine.
Saka ndakuti ndikoni pastor kuti muraiteri.
I want to
Ndakuti ka envelope aka.
Just give the envelope.
Ndikati nyaya iyi atoita.
They said this issue is now
Kuti
solved.
ndichamirire kupera kweservice ndozovhura envelope.
For me to wait after the service to open the envelope. No.
Ndikandivhure.
Let me open this.
Kwakuona 300 user.
And I saw 300 US.
Akomana. Yandaida kupa munhu uye andikati Mwari munogona. Ino Mwari angatadze kukuitirawo wazvinzwa ere zvaandiitira. Ngaakuitirewo Mwari mangwanani. Mwari ngaakuitirewo izvozvo. Kwakutomudaidza munhu uye ndakatomufonera ndikati unondimirira pamashopu papenalonga.
They called to wait for me.
Ndaipa mari kumene Mwari ndokupa mari yako. Ketu kwakutomupa mari. Mwari anotaurirwa.
You tell God.
Kana usingatauri ndakutaurira.
If you don't tell, I
Kana wanga uchinyara kukumbira ndakukumbirira.
I have asked on your behalf.
Ndakukumbirira na Mwari.
I have asked on your behalf to God.
Anoona, washuwa Mwari ane tsitsi kupfuura ininiwe. Anoona mukicheni maka ari kuona zvirimo nhunzi dziri kutoti ngo. Nenhunzi chaidzo dzasaya chokudya mukicheni
All
maka.
the flies if you fail to get food in your kitchen.
Nhunzi dzasaya chokudya.
The flies if you fail to get food in your
Mwari
kitchen.
pindira.
God intervene.
Mwari ngawapindira. Mwari ngawapindire.
May God intervene.
Mwari ngawapindire.
May God intervene.
Hatingasekwe zvese ba. Tofanira kuona kumwe kwatinokunda.
We also need an area where we are prospering.
Believe it without this.
Munozvitenda here?
Ndakutenderai.
I have believed on your behalf.
Ndakutenderai hauchazondifonera.
You call
Kuti
me.
pastor zvaita zviro zviye.
These things have now
Zvaita
happened.
zviro zviye.
It has
There's
now
a
happened.
brother ari paodzi anonzi Maide. Saka takataura matauriro ataita iwaya
We speak the way we have done here.
muna December.
It was in
Ana
December.
hama is very poor. Saka just before Christmas
Tauda kutosvika muChristmas.
atori muservice.
Was in service.
Phone rang.
The phone rang.
Zvikachinzi momirira bhazi rekwaGreka meno rinosvika momirira bhazi ndakuisirai grocery rese.
Was asked to wait for the
Christmas
to receive the Christmas.
ari muservice.
Whilst in service.
Zvikanzi ndakutengerai futi smartphone.
I also bought for
Ndaisa
a
imomo
smartphone for you.
yeChristmas box.
I put it in.
Nehanzvadzi yemudzimai yanga yachona kuSouth Africa. Zvikanzi mugarire bhazi iro zvese ndanyora nemari yekuzoti munozotengawo madhiringi nechichi zveChristmas.
For the Christmas groceries.
Kana Mwari akambozviita.
If God once did it, he can do it for you.
Unogona kuzvidzokorora.
He can repeat it.
Unogona kuzvidzokorora.
He can repeat it.
Vanozvitenda vanozvidya.
Those who believe will benefit from it.
Mwari wakuitirei zvakanaka.
May God bless you.
Praise the Lord. Absolutely. Batisisa pashoko iroro. Usaone kwaunoenda, mirira, ukatiza uchasiya makomborero achitorwa nevamwe. Mirira ipapo. Next week dzoka futi.
You come back
uone zvauchaitirwa namwe.
and you see what the Lord will do for you.
Amen.
Amen.
Praise the Lord. I love this message. I love this prophet. I love your pastor. Idanai church.
Love one another, church.
Idai pastor way.
Love your pastor.
Idai pastor, idai church.
Pastor, love your church.
Dai pano zvinoitwa ngazviitwe kungodya mese makawanda kudari kwangwesa sadza pakati apa kuti idya imese mundiro one.
Just eat in the same plate.
Muita raini munouya otimba musuwa osewa oenda kugara odya ouya otimba musuwa mudya makagara kuita kuratidza oneness.
Just to show the oneness.
Zisadza kungoita zidish apa nezimuriwa apa nyama kungoita makiyu munhu anotimba musuwa wake oenda kodya dhiringi kungoisa zidhiringi anongoyomwa oenda kogara necovid dzacho idzo dzitombodziovharaida kuratidza kuti tiri vamwe chete.
Just to show that we are one.
We are unbreakable.
Hatina chinotipkura.
Amen. We sana samanyika mukawada matumba anokuraya. Hallelujah. Anatonga. Dai pastor, when Christmas yasvika tsvaka kana kabhorobheni kuti pastor, I appreciate you.
Just look something to appreciate the pastor.
Ndangouyaone ndanhonga mutsira munyevu ndauya nawo pastor, I love you.
Ndinokudai.
Long live.
Raramai mazuva mazhinji.
Unoona kuti munoshandura even mari dzopa. Zvinhu zvinoita. Nedzimba dziri pawindo level dzinopera. Dzimwe dziri mufoundation dziri kushayiwa simende dzinopera. Ari wakuitirei zvakanaka.
God bless you.
Ndawauza Jesu ondawauza Jesu onandawa